not we're human. We breathe and bleed just like everyone else. That's just the best way to look at it. We're not odd, we're not freaks, we're not sexual objects or sexual beings.
A lot of transgender, especially black females, are being murdered, but it's not like it just happened. It's been an ongoing thing for years.
Year after year, the violence against the trans community continues to be disturbing. As of today, at least 16 trans and gender non-conforming individuals have been killed, many of whom are black transgender women. Last year alone, we saw 26 transgender and gender non-conforming people killed. What are your thoughts when you hear these numbers and these stories?
It's really cringy. I guess I'm not gonna say that I'm fearful of my life, but it does kind of put a weight on me. Like, do I need to be extra cautious? New Jersey don't have a self-defense law, so if something happened to me and I was to, have a protective, like a taser or a knife or something, it's just like I'll get in trouble for that, even though I was in the wrong, like being harmed, So it's kind of scary.
The Human Rights Campaign, which has been tracking these violent deaths, estimates that 4 in 5 of all anti-transgender homicides are trans women of color.
We're seeing the second highest spike over a certain amount of time, even in the midst of a quarantine. Again, it shows just a heightened level of violence perpetuated against trans individuals, and it just doesn't make sense. As a society, Black folks make up about 12 or 13% of the population. However, when you look at trans folks who've been killed, Black transgender women, we represent such a small number of society overall, but yet such a high percentage of folks who are being killed violently.
Most transgender individuals are killed because they're either a trans male or a trans female, and because the person don't understand. Instead of getting educated or, even if this is something that you don't agree with, you don't have the right to murder someone. And a lot of our black trans females are murdered by black men, which is, ridiculous. Like, we're fighting for black men, and then you're turning around, you're killing your black counterparts because you don't understand them.
So policy is one of the ways that we can provide protections against Black trans folks and all trans folks and all queer folks and non-binary folks. Policies that not just identify hate crimes, but also enforce hate crimes. Those are very, very important. But then there's also anti-discrimination policy that will go a long way. I think that it's a charge. I use the youth statement as a call of action, certainly to Black Lives Matter and to all other national movements, that they are much more incorporative of all of the intersections of who we are as human beings and as Black people in particular. And that includes queer, trans, and non-binary folks.
What would be your message for people who don't understand the transgender community specifically? What's something that you would want people to know?
Just respect us, we respect you, and treat us as if, it was somebody in your family that was trans. Give us the same respect that you would want somebody to give to your sons and daughter if they chose to take this route in life.
This is a simple message. If you're a black person, think about yourself and what you go through and how you're treated and how you have to think about everything you do when you walk out that door just because you are a black person, and especially black men. Now put yourself in that black transgender person's place, and you should know not to do what you do and respect them the same way you want respect when you walk out the door. Just think about yourself when you're thinking about another person that you are uncomfortable with, and you should know that you need to change your ways in reference to transgender people. Because if you're trying to change society about you, you have to change you. And once you change you, then we can make this world a better place.
Amen.